4.7 billions of money was lost with no record. I'm talking about 4.7 billions Rwandan money was lost with no record just last year. Now, the great announcement was like COVID-19 outbreak to cost Rwanda 4.7 billions. Money was lost with no record. That's really the story and news to not understand about it. Well, many people say, really in Africa, we really don't know about management and all the chronological record for the audit and auditation or something like that. But management still the problem. How could you lose 4.7 billions with no record? Who does that? Who is responsible to explain this? The tragedy story to hear. While we are all still say, hey, our economy is really turning bound to recession, and while we are losing money without knowing who does that, right? And yet we all have very many editors, auditors, and managers are doing their work working in different offices. So, but let's just get you into the whole story. The Rwanda Economic updates analyze recently economic development and prosper, as well as Rwanda's policy patriot, intended for wide audience of policymakers, business leaders, other market participants, analysts of Rwanda economy, and civil society. You're going to draw a data full report by the Government of Rwanda and additional information collected by the World Bank Group in its regular economic monitoring and policy dialogues. That's what we are going to let you get into the deeper to know much about it. Rwanda is suffering from the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The economy impact was being felt even before the first confirmed case was reported on March 14, 2020. The authority policies response to the pandemic has been timely, scaling up healthcare spending and putting in place measures to help contain and mitigate the spreading of disease. This is a compounding difficult from the disaster management outlay already underway to address the damage caused by the heavy rains in the beginning of the year. The pandemic is also dampening domestic revenue, mobilization, and pulling significant pressure on foreign exchange reserves. The Minister of Trade and Industry has announced that Rwanda has decided to cancel meetings which were scheduled between March and April 2021 due to COVID-19 pandemic. Loss is predicted to reach more than 5 million USD, which is 4.7 billion Rwandan money. Currently, apart from tragic human consequences, the whole world is facing economic recession. Rwanda will not be spared of devastating economic effect brought about by coronavirus. Since the virus was identified in Wuhan, China last year, export predicted a slowdown in the global economy, which will cost $1 trillion USD only in 2021. The mirroring, invected and confessing reputation is one of leading sector in the economy of Rwanda. From July 2018 to February 2019, Rwanda earned 52 billion. Currently a part of tragedy human consequences, the world is facing economic recession. Rwanda will not be spared of devastating economic effects brought about by coronavirus. Among the major meetings that have been postponed due to COVID-19 is sustainable energy for all the economic recovery or development we all do. Meeting which has scheduled in Kigali in May 2020 has been postponed between February 16 and 18, 2021. Interview with the Rwanda Broadcast Agency RBA, Soleil M. Hakuziyaremye, Minister of Trade and Industry, said that the ministry advanced in business owner and industry to allow postponed until the coronavirus is getting better and life will turn back in normal here in Rwanda. Currently, we have requested postponed 5 meetings as the government of Rwanda looks for solution to counter and prevent spread of COVID-19. We advised the hotel restaurant which we were expect to host visitors to allow postponing, which promise that business will be back on track as the virus is well protected. Despite mutual consultation and preparation for Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, which is Chogimo, are still underway. The final decision on Commonwealth hosts are not to be going hard in Kigali, as we all told you last few days that Chogamo is not going to take place in Rwanda during July 2021 because of COVID-19 is still real and they kill a lot of people. There was no more way they can prevent COVID-19 among such a big meeting. It was postponed again. Due to rightful imposed ban and the restriction in supply of goods and services will be imposed, and the fact that both are likely to face loss. It is not in Rwanda alone. We are facing loss in the world. In Rwanda particular, the spillover effect to total lockdowns are still to be felt since most of product which were imported from China remains docked to foreign product. Hakuziyaremye said, given that 22% of our imports were from China, we also consistently consult with the business owner to find alternative sources as the virus is getting contained. For the time being, we will restore the import from Turkey or Egypt to continue and secure our good health and market booming in Rwanda. What he's talking about here is that the government is going to see another way of importation and exportation when the market of Rwanda was depend almost in China, product from China, but it's going now to have a little bit changes. They are going to do a little bit changes. In the heart of outbreak, many countries around the world have imposed the import bans amid Rwanda is restricted to export goods while the virus is spreading. Rwanda also accommodating exhibit will likely suffer from bans and restrictions, especially for prohibitions such as follow. And the great announcement here the minister was also stating is that we have been earning money through the expedition. It was no longer taking place last year until now, 2021, because of COVID-19. So there's the mystery going on. Even though he have said all that, we don't really know how the money get lost. There's no clear statement about why the money get lost, because we are backing into recession. We are falling into recession, but we don't see that the current money was deposited in a bank or in a different account. How those money get lost? He was emphasizing much about what happened and what we are going through economically, but we don't really see what he's mentioned about. Consider for the loss they get in while the money was saved in the different accounts. This is a whole story of economy, what the economy is going through, what we need to do, all the factor that our economy depend on a product from China in order people to get a survive. When China is a country that will suffer much with COVID-19, which really bans a business transition. What else the people will understand much about what they're going to do to restore the economy. That's the story of what we are talking much about. We are also here see the great meetings. Rwanda is a country that all depend on tourism and hosting different international meetings in order to earn money. This is a true factor that hotels and the restaurants fall into bankruptcy. Pretty soon we will have some hotels that want to go into an auctioning because they got money but no way to earn an income to pay back. It's really going to be a tough time to the business owners and the hotel owners because since the product or business transition is really not going well. In terms of accrued, we really don't see how the accrued was made back in Rwanda, but all while we see that Chagamo, a common health heads of government meetings was going to take place in Rwanda was also postponed for a second time. It's a true saga, and many people don't know why, but it was a true story by different readers in among of that network circle that Chagamo meeting was banned due to COVID-19. But another side of people say it was not, right? Because they do have very different opinions. But what we consider about the leaders said Chagamo was banned due to COVID-19. But in Rwanda, the Minister of Trade and Industry mentioned something here more about that Chagamo was a great meeting that is do have more benefit to Rwanda in terms of economy. Rwanda was going to earn more money through a Chagamo meeting. But once the Chagamo is postponed, the Minister of Trade and Industry mentioned a big loss we have fallen into. And he is so much emphasizing people who've been underway of restriction for that to just build more patient and see what else that it can help them to overcome the tragedy of COVID-19 to their business and the economy as well. All the general picture of what we are talking much about is that Rwanda have lost 4.7 billions. That's a really huge man, and nobody who are responsible to explain why things are happening that way, and also nobody to ask what we are going to do, as I see in this statement. But more importantly, what we can say is that the economy was fall apart. The economy was falling into recession. But we knew what helps people to get back into the great, good, booming economy is to work and save, investment and saving. That's a great mind we can ever share with you is about saving and investment. Hopefully, we are keep up, do everything we can, and share all the last statement the Minister of Trade and Industry say. Hakuzeyari may say that in a timeline, business owners which have been affected by COVID-19 outbreak are receiving support from the minister, mainly regarding taxi and loan payment. This is a really appreciable an idea because the minister is important. There's a huge tax cut, loans and different support, right? They are giving to people who do business in order to turn back to the normal economy they really wanted or they was expecting before. That's a very appreciable idea.